all this part is being cut out anyway.
Alright.
Nice. So you've seen all the behind the scenes now, isn't it?
Yeah. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. The light's kind of beaming in our face, but you know, beggars can't be choosers, I guess.
Alright. Is it like a 3, 2, 1 thing you begin?
No, we'll get straight into it, innit?
Alright.
We'll get straight into it. I just want to open it so when I eat it.
Oh yeah, sure. Be careful then.
Yeah, because sometimes it splatters out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go. Thank God for food, man, honestly. Some people, they don't have what we have, man. I'm always appreciative. Alright. And today I'm eating food because I'm hungry. And yeah, man, I didn't get to eat before I came here, but we keep grinding regardless of the circumstances.
For real.
Yeah. Today I'm here with
Daniel.
Yes, sir. Daniel.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Age?
20.
20.
Yeah.
Ethnicity? Oh, 20.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Alright. I thought you were
You thought I was like 21?
Yeah, I thought you were older than me.
Bro, you're older than me.
Yeah, but for the sake of the interview, I have to start pretending like I don't know people. But, we're gonna get to know you fully though.
Yeah.
Ethnicity.
African British, I guess, or British African.
What country in Africa?
Nigeria, you know how it is.
Yes, sir. Of course, you're Yoruba?
Yeah, Yoruba.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Daniel, what do you like to do? What are like your hobbies and stuff?
Multiple. I like to try new things, but I go to the gym. I train kickboxing. Recently MMA. I like to listen to podcasts like this one.
Okay. Nice.
But yeah, I've been getting back into playing the piano as well. Recently. But yeah, these are just some of the things I do. My spare time, I like to read.
Yeah.
And just work on my business, innit?
So okay.
That's what I like to do.
Okay, so you said kickboxing, or actually you named a number of things, but which one would you say is the most?
So right now I've been more business oriented, but I think during last year I was more sports oriented.
Okay.
It's just generally out of interest, and I just want some, kind of experience when it comes to the business side of things. Just developing certain skills that I want to use, for my future career. So.
Okay. And what is that future career?
Anything can happen, but hopefully I'm going to go into sports management.
Okay.
So, I've always been interested in MMA. That's mixed martial arts for anyone who doesn't know. That's your UFC. There are other promotions as well, but going into the sports management side of things, you'll basically be a manager of those athletes. So you can basically be handling a group of agents. So these agents help out with like sponsorships, promotions for that fighter, social media. It's basically like marketing, essentially. And when that fighter wins a fight or even loses, you basically get a percentage cut from their pay. Or if you guys have a private contract, you can get a percentage cut from that. But yeah, that's just my interest. I also train. I also want to train alongside them as well. So that's also another goal of mine.
So you can beat people up.
I don't want to fight professionally. But I guess the untrained person. But don't try and do that, guys. Especially in the UK. Don't try and think you're tough and you're trying to go beat people up, man. You can end up in a real bad situation. But yeah, it's an interesting question.
I'm really yumming this, man. Thank you, bro.
It's nice. No, it's alright. I enjoy the food, man.
He got this for me, guys. He's nice like that. He's also a nice guy. We've established that he likes MMA, man.
Alright.
But when it comes to MMA, like, okay, why did you not want to fight yourself? What made you go to be a manager?
Money.
Really?
Yeah, so the money's there. It's just more to do with marketing. So that's also something I was interested in.
You enjoy doing marketing?
Yeah. I'm just interested in like the promotion side of things, as well as the fights. I'm a diehard MMA fan. And there was a point in time I was also considering, if not sports management, then like kind of like journalism. Now, for those who don't know, there's like a guy called Ariel Helwani. Like, if you know who that is, then that means you watch like UFC a lot. But MMA journalism, interviews, getting to know the fighter, the processes, But that's I'm not really too interested in that anymore. But getting into the advertisement, marketing side of MMA, that's something that's piqued my interest over time.
Right.
And that's just what I want to do. That's what I want to pursue. So,
But do MMA? Because from what I know from MMA, right, and I'm probably the perfect person to interview on this because I know the average person. Yeah. The fighters don't get paid as much unless you're like a really popular fighter.
Yeah, so that's why it's called a promotion, right? So the UFC, Bellator, PFL, ONE FC, these are basically fighting promotions.
Okay.
You as a fighter have the job to try and increase the amount of fans that you have. More fans generally means more pay-per-view.
Okay.
More pay-per-view means that you get a lot. Your percentage cut of the fight is going to increase. So it's your job to promote yourself. UFC can only do so much. But in regards to fighters' pay, I think there has been some slight change.
Okay.
But fighters as well, they need to realize that it's kind of on you and on the manager and on your promotion team, your agents to help push your brand out there. That's why you see some fighters develop certain personalities.
Yeah.
So people like Conor McGregor, you got your Yuri Prochazka, that's a Czech Republic light heavyweight fighter. You have your so many different fighters, man, with so many different personalities. But it could be true to their nature, but at the same time, it's used in the positive business side of things.
So from what you're telling me, like fighters are they express themselves. Like they're more. It's entertainment as well as fighting.
So it's unlike the WWE, which is another promotion, which is purely kind of entertainment based, mixed in with acting and they have scripts. UFC isn't like that. It's literally pure fighting. However, in order for fighters just to increase the amount of fans they get, they can put on some of these personalities. That's why we have someone like Conor McGregor, right? Like we all know how he acts, very cocky, but this is part of his personality. And it's what's successful for him is that at one point he was the highest paid UFC fighter of all time, and he probably still is at this point. So that's really what made him successful, is his branding, it's his marketing. So
So what would you say to people who are like, okay, fighting is unethical? Because some people think boxing, MMA, all of that stuff, like it should be banned. You're injuring people. Fighting shouldn't be a thing.
Well, if that's the case, if people are going to argue about injury, then why don't we get rid of different sports like F1? Like people get injured there. People almost died in F1. Why don't we get rid of like snowboarding? Why don't we get rid of like horse racing? People get trampled on in horse racing or like different other sports. Why don't we get rid of rugby?
But to be fair though, fighting is with the intention
Fighting is with the intention to harm. However, there are procedures there. Like all of this is not forced fighting. It's not like cage fighting. This is perfectly ethical and legal. You have people that are basically trained their whole lives in different disciplines: jiu-jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, so many different disciplines. Olympic champions. There are people like you can make the same argument. How about in the Olympics? Like you're going in there. Boxing is also an Olympic sport. Should we say that just because you're injuring someone in boxing, like we should just ban boxing from the Olympics? No. This is just another promotion that fighters are coming into, a private promotion, unlike boxing where you're representing a country. In the UFC and Bellator, you're representing yourself. And when you're representing yourself, there's also potential to make more money. So there's also that. So it's not really unethical. I can see why people may not like, the violent side of things. But usually when people get into this sport, they usually end up enjoying it in the long run. Just watching it. But it's. I just view MMA as like a chess match, man. You have basically two different fighters with opposing wills. Going in there to settle beef or just to prove themselves. And I think it's probably one of the most masculine, most clean sport there is. It's basically as pure as it gets. You can trace some of this behavior back to the Colosseums in Rome. You know, it's not that different. You know, Roman gladiators were actually seen at one point as celebrities. You know, so it's not that different as to what we're having here. You know, obviously now, you know, there's not, you know, people aren't dying, you know, but yeah, it's not so different. So I can see why people can view it as unethical, but it's the complete opposite. You know, we have doctors. The doctors on either side of the ring. We have rules and regulations. You know, we have referees. You know, we have medics on standby. So yeah, you can't really get more ethical than that. As well as, you know, these promotions are being monitored by you know, different leagues to stop doping. You know, that means basically steroid use or any kind of you know exogenous hormone use as well. So yeah, it's basically as ethical as it gets.
I can see you're really passionate about this, like passionate about the UFC.
I mean, it's not just the UFC guys. I'm just interested in fighting. You know, like the you know mixed martial arts itself. You know, I basically at a very young age, I've grown up with you know martial arts media, from Bruce Lee to Karate Kid to like different things. So over time, I've just kind of like developed my passion for it, and then I you know go into the UFC, even from games as well, anime. You know the Dragon Ball thing, bro. Yeah, exactly, man. So I've just you know kind of just seen like, oh, that looks cool. How about this kind of stuff exists in real life? You know, the whole point of the UFC was like, oh, what if we you know we got so many you know different fighting styles. Like who would win in a fight? Like a boxer or a kickboxer, or like you know a sumo wrestler, or like a jiu-jitsu guy. You know, and that's how that promotion started. You know, that's how the history of the UFC was. That's how the UFC was formed. So you know, yeah, it's just what I'm interested in.
You mentioned about growing up, right?
Yeah.
By the way, guys, I keep tapping this because you know I need to make sure that it doesn't cut out like a perfect point.
Yeah,
if anything, we're getting close to the 18 mark, but it's alright. We'll just keep talking. What was it like for you growing up? Because I know how you mentioned growing up, you like watching anime and stuff like that. How was your upbringing?
Yeah, so yeah, my upbringing was great. You know, I was exposed to a lot of media, like cartoons and anime and games when I was younger. You know, then I watched a lot of anime during secondary school, high school. Not as much now, but yeah, that also developed my Japanese speaking as well. If you look into games as well, me and him, like we go way back, guys. You don't understand, like I can't remember now. Like we're talking like over like 10 years now, bro.
Definitely.
Like we go like
I
can't remember, man. But I still remember like like all the time, guys. We'd just be playing Destiny. If you know the game Destiny 1, late at night, we'd just be grinding that as well as other PS3 games as well. So yeah, my upbringing was great. I have a great family. I see my dad as a mentor, huge mentor.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, it's been great.
And how important? Okay, I'll go to that.
Yeah, sure.
How important is it for guys to like? How important is a father figure?
Guys, it may not be a biological father that people have, but a father figure, is necessary for a man. I'm not saying that mothers can't do a great job, for single mothers and stuff, but just looking at the psychology between a man and his son, that's something that can't be found anywhere else, or at least, a father figure of some kind, and, a young child to, just guide them. It can't be found anywhere else. So a father figure is truly important for the development of a young child.
Right.
The father can instill discipline, he can instill courage, bravery, go after what you want kind of thing, in the child. So yeah, father figures are very important, and they're very underrated as well. I feel like society doesn't really give them enough.
They're underappreciated.
Yeah, very underappreciated, man. Yeah, so yeah, father figures are very important.
Because the thing is, I think I can link it back to the UFC, because I think a lack of like a father figure can literally, it makes, because a father's supposed to teach how to be a man. I think a mother teaches you at a certain point, can nurture you, but when you grow older as a man, it's like trapping you in a box, innit? And the father is kind of like breaks you out of that box. It's kind of like a seed.
You see,
know what I mean?
Like a fight, like good thing that you did relate that back to the UFC. You know, a fighter is nothing without the coach.
Yeah.
You know, like you can be the best fighter there is, but the point of a coach is not only to motivate you, but to push you and also help spot out your mistakes as well. You know, you can be the best fighter there is. You step into that ring, thinking that you're the guy. You're gonna get what's coming. Like,
right.
You know, you're gonna get humbled real quick. So a lot of these fighters see their coaches as a father figure. That's what a father figure is at the end of the day. It's a coach. It's a life coach. It's a coach for life. You know, so it is very, very important. For your development as a man.
Because I wanted to ask you, do you think, obviously you're interested in fighting and that's your passion, that's your dream. Do you think physical strength is a representation of strength in general? So if someone's stronger than me, they're a better person than me? Or do you think strength is?
No, physical strength, I would say physical strength is important as a man. I don't think that's something you can overlook. There's a certain amount of respect that you get. Someone who takes care of their body or someone who just generally takes care of their physical fitness. There's a general level of societal respect that person will get because that's not something you can buy.
Right.
That's something that's earned.
Yeah.
Right? You have to really discipline yourself to get a good body, a good physique. That's usually when you read about, in different books talking about how you can improve self-improvement. The first thing is, you have to get your body right, because once you get your body right, the idea is that your discipline, the mindset will come into it.
Yeah.
Right. So, but physical strength is not everything. There's some people that are gifted, but they may not have the health. They may not be at the optimal health to work out or to work on their body. So the best thing a man can work on is his mind. You need to work on your mind. You need to expand on your knowledge and what you know. Go and look into different avenues, different ways you can read on business, on life, on anything. So the mind is more over matter. That's what people say. The mind is more important because once you master your mind, everything will come into it.
So do you think a lot of people like a soft or?
I think society, because there's a lot of stuff that we can just get on demand now, so there's less pressure as people, of society to try and go after certain things. Like, we don't have to cook now. Like, I bought my friend food. Like, we don't have to cook it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But you go back maybe 30, 40 years ago, like, we're going to have to make our own food.
Yeah.
And I guess there are some benefits of that because we have stuff on demand, but we can't always, use that. You get what I mean? It's going to make us lazy.
Yeah.
Because we're just going to, let me just do this really quick. Quick hits of dopamine. And it just makes you, very lazy and flaccid. And at the end of the day, when it comes to a situation where those things aren't on demand or you aren't able to access those things, like you're just basically stuck in a mud, you're not able to do anything. Right? Like if I ask most guys, like they aren't even able to change a car tire properly. Back in maybe 30, 40 years ago, you might be able to, but most guys can't do that, Or they can't even help, charge up someone else's car battery or something. I'm not saying that every guy needs to do this, but this is just a practical example of, what young men used to be able to do, and I just feel like us as a society, just generally young men aren't really able to do those things anymore. So there needs to be some kind of bounce back, some kind of responsibility, but those things like changing a tire, helping out with the cars, those things are usually taught by fathers.
Yeah.
So it just goes back to the point where, of how important father figures are in society, So,
I'm glad you said that because I think, one of the main reasons why our society, in my opinion, our society is going like this is mainly because of fathers. Because I think fathers are like the root of the tree for families, and obviously families cause communities, societies, right? So I think because there's a lack of fathers, everything's going down. Like this simple stuff, I'm not saying they were cooked for you to be a man. You have to know how to change a tire and stuff. But these things, these simple acts, we should be knowing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we've all lost that because I think it goes back to easy times create weak men and stuff like that. Yeah. And I think we're living in a really good time. You said something so valid because I thought about this the other day. Because I was like, damn, I got food and I cooked it. I was like, damn, I just went to Tesco, Aldi, bought meat and put it on a fryer that I didn't make. Didn't have to even light the fire. I turned the cooker on, and then that's it. It's made.
Yeah.
But other man had to kill the cow. And I don't know what skim it.
Yeah, and there's some parts of society, not necessarily in Western society, in other places of the world, East Asia, Africa, maybe some parts of South Asia. You're looking at Pakistan, India. Those places, they may not have the privilege to, have a cooker or have a gas burn of some kind, or they may not even have microwaves, or they have to basically prepare food, using old techniques, right, like the olden days, right? So, but it's funnily enough, you look at those places, some of the highest concentrations of testosterone are found in these places, and you wonder why, compared to Western society. I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure the testosterone from a male is like over like 500 nanograms, and then to like 1,000 maybe. Like that should be like a healthy range. Like usually men are below that. Like a large population of men are below that. It could be attributed to food, but lifestyle as well is also a part of that. But you look at places from like West Africa, like their testosterone is just like through the roof. So it goes back to saying some of these important lifestyle things that men should be doing can lead to more testosterone and lead to men going after what they want, more ambitious men generally. But yeah,
I'm going off the dome with this because okay, so before you I did tins, right, and I went off the dome there, and I think in some cases it's better to go off the dome, because I was actually going to write questions for this.
Oh really?
I was like, you know what, let's just go off the dome, let's just see what it goes. And I think you get to know the person better. But what was I going to ask you? Going back to us and the food and stuff, how important is gratefulness to you? Like being thankful, being grateful? Because I think that's one of the best traits you can have, just to be thankful for stuff you have.
I feel people do need to be thankful for their position. Anything can happen, especially in this economy, in this changing world. You can lose your job just like that, or you can get a new one, But you always need to be thankful of your position, because there's always going to be people less fortunate, even in the Western society. So, you do need to be grateful, and it's just a great way to realize what you have, and it's also a great way to see what you have and help others as well. I see that I'm more fortunate than this person, or I see that I've gotten opportunities that this person does not. This will give me the chance to help another person. So I guess that's really important. So society needs to be more grateful. People need to be more grateful for their positions in life.
Do you think it's our duty to help people who are less fortunate?
It is our duty. People like to attribute. People don't really like to take accountability. So people like to, it should be the government doing this, it should be the government doing that. Why are they helping? Why? No, but it's us as a society. We. That's why in America they're always like we the people. We as a society, we as people need to help other people. That's the only way. Change starts with you. If you read into East Asian philosophy, right? Confucius, right? Society. He said that society change begins with us, the people. Right? That's how you get a better society. So practice gratefulness, help people, and you get a better society overall.
The more you talk, the more questions come into my head. I think I like this freestyle method better, right? Because for me, from hearing you, I'll go with this question first. It sounds like you have a passion for men, masculinity. You have a passion for that, all of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just the guy, bro. I'm just the guy, but I try and do the best I can, and I try and read a lot and listen to a lot. This is just my opinion. I'm not like, although I may, physically now be a man, there's a lot of learning that I need to do. I'm not perfect. There's a lot of learning I seriously need to do. But all of us, we're all on a journey. So, this is just one of the steps that you can learn from each other and better yourselves.
Because I was going to ask, how important, first of all,
sure.
let me look at us for time. Oh, we're good. Okay.
Oh, we're still good?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Okay. How important? Because all the questions are good, but you know what? I'm just gonna let God take control of this. How important? You've mentioned how important the masculine is, right? I want to go to you and say, on the contrary, how important is the feminine? How important is motherhood?
The feminine is very important. The feminine, caring for one another. That's why a lot of females succeed in, medicinal roles, like being nurses, compared to men. I'm not saying that men don't do those roles and don't succeed. However, if you look at the ratio between men and women doing those jobs, like women do those jobs and they do it well, to be like caregivers, to help people, to help those less fortunate. You look at some of the most famous people doing those kinds of jobs, or they're usually women. And women also as well, like we appreciate what they do for society as well.
Yeah.
Good mothers, right? Mothers who can sacrifice. It's not easy. It's not an easy job at all. So the feminine is very important as well as the masculine. Don't let anyone, say otherwise. So yeah, you have to be grateful to the mothers or motherly figures who, raise you. So yeah, it's very important.
Do you think in this society, the feminine of what it means to be feminine has been warped? I do personally.
It's been warped. I think objectively it has been warped.
Yes.
Like a lot of this new age feminism, neo-feminism stuff, like this has only come into society for like the past 20, 25, maybe even 30 years. Like this is all new age stuff. Like this stuff did not exist. It did not exist like 60, 70 years ago. There was no such thing as, but a lot of this stuff has been pushed by movies and pushed by media, social media. A lot of these feminists and people who, buy into that ideology. It's very selfish. So it's like, oh, go out, do this for yourself, do this. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't focus on yourself. However, it's a very selfish and toxic ideology. And it just leads to more selfishness in society. It's not beneficial at all, and it's very warped because a lot of the arguments that are made, like most of it is debunked anyway. So like, it's just I just see it more as like a cope for destruction. Because that's essentially what happens in society. Like you go back and read about the fall of Rome, fall of a lot of societies is that men, in terms of the roles, it starts to become warped. Like I try and read as much history as possible now. I used to hate history, but like if you look into it, if you start reading or start listening to like audiobooks and stuff, the fall of society begins with men becoming more feminine, or the feminine side, dominates more of the masculine side.
Yeah.
Right? And that leads to more destruction in society, more chaos, because men will start to rule more with emotion, So when that happens, society collapses. So like a lot of this new wave feminism stuff, like if society doesn't find a way to seek balance, then it will just be the collapse of society. Now that sounds dark, but I just like to be a realist. That is eventually what might happen, and we're only seeing this growth happen exponentially when it comes to more men becoming feminine or more women. Actually, and we talk about feminism, but you look at some of the behavior, it's actually more masculine.
Yeah.
Actually, because I wouldn't even call that feminism. It's more masculine behavior that they portray. Oh yeah, you need to go after this job or go after this, this career, and it's not bad to pursue a career, guys. However, putting that above family, I just feel like it's just wrong, because those companies, they don't care about you. Like I know how corporate, I know about corporate behavior. You are just a drone. That's all you are. And do not try and test your luck in the job market, because companies can just replace you just like that. There's no such thing as company loyalty anymore. Maybe you go back 30 years, like, oh yeah, I've worked for this company, like I've given my life for this company 30 years. Like companies don't care.
Yeah,
they don't care. So when you've worked so hard, you've pushed people away, and you have like this job, and then you get fired. Like, what do you have left? What's left of you?
Funny enough, I saw a video of a guy. He worked at a job for 50 years. It looked like he was a customer assistant. The only thing he got was the manager, and it looked like it was a poster made on, like, I don't know, your phone. It said, "Well done for 50 years." That's it. I said, after 50 years,
people. The thing is, people can, like, I can't force people to do things, right? Like, if that's what he feels like he can achieve, that's the best thing he can achieve, then kudos to him, right?
Yeah.
But for me personally, I just feel that it's just a lack of potential, you know, or at least unused potential.
Okay.
Right? Because for someone to be working retail for 50 plus years and the best they can achieve is a floor manager. We're not even talking about like you managing a store, by the way, or like multiple stores. Like, we're just talking about like you know, micromanaging people. You know, maybe like your 1 or 2 promotions up. You know, how much is your salary going to change? You know, so you cannot be dependent on your main salary, because what happens when that goes? You know, what kind of other income do you have? What kind of other assets do you have? You know, like a lot of people, they depend so much on their salary, right? If I go and ask a lot of people, how much do you have for like a 5K emergency? Let's say something happens now, God forbid, but let's say something happens now, how much do you have for a 5K emergency right now? Can you pull out 5K from your pocket right now? They won't be able to do that. Isn't that crazy? If that doesn't sound crazy, I don't know what is, bro. That's the kind of, you know, economy that we're living in now, right? So a lot of these females, and even guys as well, that depend so heavily on their job, you need to start looking for other streams of income, right? You need to start looking at ways that I can increase the assets that I have, or at least reduce the liabilities that I have, you know, so.
What would you say to guys who's like, "Oh, Daniel, you're just thinking too much. You're just overthinking stuff.
Guys,
just enjoy life now."
If you live life, you guys don't understand, man. If you live life, because I've seen it. If you live life, well, you know, easy come, easy go.
Yeah.
You know, life will always give you the short end of the stick. Like, I've seen this. Like, it's funny, but a lot of man them, like, you know, they'll just be like, "Oh yeah, just go out, you know, club in, you know." all this nonsense. Don't worry, life will club you, and it's gonna club you in ways that you can't even imagine. I'm not saying you guys can't go out, but you know, you will always get the short end of the stick. Like, life don't care, man. It's literally survival of the fittest. You guys do not understand. You guys need to escape this rat race now, right? Because the economy is it's going to get worse and worse and worse. You guys don't understand what's coming. So, look for other ways. Like, pursue your passions, but find ways to monetize them, right? Look for other avenues. Look for other streams of income, right? Look for ways that, okay, maybe I can invest in this, or I can save money in this bank, or I can buy reserves, gold reserves, or silver reserves, something like that. You know what I mean? Oil reserves, right? So a lot of people don't necessarily. I'm not a professor at this, right? But you do need to try and, you know, find some sort of security somewhere else than just your 9 to 5, your wage slave job. Right? Because that's what it is. It's a wage slave job. Because some people may be happy with that, but you know, me personally, like, I've always seen myself like I can always do better than that. You know. But
Daniel, I'm happy at the job I'm at. I'm happy. I'm making the money I want.
If you're making the money that you want, fine. Like, if you're happy, if you're content, and that's what makes you, that's what gives you satisfaction, fine. And you know, a lot of but I'm just telling you now, like, a lot of sectors in the economy are going to get replaced very, very soon. Very, very soon. Like, big changes are happening very, very rapidly, right? So you need to look at ways that it's either adapt or die. You get me? Like, I love that philosophy so much. Adapt or die. Like, it's
that
so
sounds cool.
real. It's so real. It's either you get with the times, or you get left behind. That's bars, for real. So you get with the times now, right? Look at ways you can monetize. Yeah, you know, you need to do your research, find a field that you like, or some form of interest. I don't even care if it's like, oh, I used to play the piano in high school. Maybe I can go back into that, start monetizing that, and maybe start selling lessons on the side or something. You know, build up another stream of revenue, man.
Do you believe money buys happiness?
Well,
what do you think about that saying?
I feel like money buys you the ability to tolerate less BS in life.
Okay.
And what I mean by that, like, you know, a lot of people, wealth, or who are very successful, they don't have to wait in line. They know what's coming. They already know what's going to happen before you guys know it, right? They know more about economic trends before you guys know it, right? So, you know, it may not necessarily buy happiness and satisfaction, but it can make you live life easily. You know, you don't have to worry about bills. Imagine not having to worry about bills or mortgage or any of that. You know, you can pursue what you want to. You can travel to any country. You can do this, do that. It's not impossible, guys. It's not impossible. It's very hard, but it's not impossible. And I've spoken to some people like this. Okay, I know that kind of lifestyle, right? But generally, I will say there is a level of satisfaction achieved the greater wealth that you have. Okay. But then again, you know, sometimes some people say more money, more problems. You know, there's some problems that can come with that wealth, so you need to know how to manage that.
Yeah.
Right? People can approach you. People can, you know, you can get harassed by certain people. Yeah. Right. So I think that all comes with the job description. I mean, it depends on whatever you're doing, but eventually over time you learn how to adapt. You know, hopefully you adapt. So yeah, you know.
Because what I will say is that everyone wants to have the benefit without the cost. I mean, there's a cost to everything in life. Anything you want to do, even your dreams and your goals, there's a price. Like for me, when I'm successful in this, I know I might walk to co-op and just someone be like, oh, is that, you know, David and stuff like that. It just comes with it. I can't be mad because the goal is what I reach for. And if that's what it is, I'll take the bad that comes with it. A lot of people just think, oh, being rich just means, I can sit back and relax. To be honest, rich people are more stressed than...
Yeah, they're seriously stressed, man. Like, you know, they understand that not only is it you keeping this amount of wealth, but also it's not only you gaining the wealth, but it's also you keeping it, retaining it, right? So there's a lot of stress that comes with that. But generally, they get to live very luxurious lifestyles. Obviously, they know how to manage money. They may have agents, accountants that help them with money management, you know, diversifying their portfolio, their investment portfolios. But generally, you know, you get to live a life where you're not controlled too much, at least by government, right? So that's something. Don't be too dependent on government or external sources. You know.
What kind of women do you need? And what do you think about girls? I know that's a crazy direct.
No, it's not.
Because I was thinking, like, because you're a very serious man, right?
I can be unserious, bro. I can be very unserious. But yeah, interesting question, girls. Right now, it's not really
something
too much I'm focused on.
Yeah. Every guy I've interviewed says that.
Yeah.
Are we lying? Are we just lying? Man?
No, and I think, to be honest, that is kind of an issue that, you know, generally women need to also look at, because if a lot of guys are saying that they're not really too focused at girls at this age, you know, that means there's a serious problem that's going on. But me, generally, I've got a lot that I need to focus on, like, you know, money. Like, I'm getting my money up, bro, and thank God, but I'm getting my money up for real. But, you know, women, I can talk to women, but I just have that thing where, like, you know, let's just see where it goes kind of thing, you know.
Not a serious
thing. I have had a serious relationship before.
Right.
But, you know, right now it's not really something that's, you know, my main priority right now. But, hey, if it comes, it comes, you know. But right now, like if you're not really on my program, or if you're not looking to, like, assist me in any way with what I'm doing, then it's cool, you know, we can be cool. It's no hate. Yeah. But yeah, it's not my priority.
Does she have to be black?
I'm not too focused. She can. Will be good.
Would you prefer her to be black?
Yeah, probably, because I relate. Like, I'm surrounded by black people all the time. So, but at the same time, like, I don't mind, like, as long as it's something where it's of, like, mutual benefit, and, you know, she can assist me with my endeavors, with what I want to do, and it's someone who believes in me, and it's someone who can stick by me, and it's someone who can defend me. You know, then I don't mind what kind of sacrifices, and someone who respects me. Yeah. Because respect is number one.
That's the most important.
It's the most important thing, especially for men. Like, men need to learn this. Like, respect is number one. Like, if she's not on your program, then I guess that's it. You know, like, you know, because she can help me all she wants, but if there's a certain level of disrespect, then she's out. You know, you have to learn how to walk away. you have to learn how to walk away. You have to learn, or you have to learn how to check that. For real. Like, you cannot tolerate that.
Yeah.
You know, from anyone, really. But even not from women, but you know, you can't tolerate that from some kind of woman who's not on your program, who doesn't believe in you. It's like, okay, that's cool. It's no hate. I'm not saying we should just get into a fight, because I don't, like me personally, I don't have the energy to be arguing back and forth. I'm just gonna say how it is. Okay, alright, this is how it is. Hope you have fun. Goodbye. It's GG. You get me? Like, that's it. No hate. Like, if you wanna, you know, talk to me, you know, about something else, or, you know, like, so if about business or something, right? Because hey, if you've got a good business idea and you want to approach me, like, you want to make it viable, cool. But aside from that, like, I'm done with the whole, for now anyway, the whole like romantic.
Loving.
I've done that before, so I'm not saying that guys can't pursue that, but make sure you're in a secure position, right? Like, I just don't, you know. But that's just me personally.
What are your top 3 films?
Ooh, yeah. I'm a movie guy.
I'm actually excited to hear this.
I am a movie guy, right, bro. When you ask that, bro, I love movies. I love movies so much. I think it's a great medium. They can teach you a lot. But entertainment-wise, it's just great, you know. Like, something like a good movie. Like, you just sit down, put on a good movie. Relax, you just relax, innit? Top 3 movies.
I'm answering after.
There's so many. I love The Matrix. The Matrix is number 1. I've always loved this movie since I was like 5 years old, bro. Like, I used to watch like Keanu Reeves like all the time. I've watched, you know, Bill and Ted, Matrix, Constantine. I've watched a lot of his movies. So like, you know,
so Matrix, that's number 1.
Matrix is number 1.
Okay.
Second, Flip. Second, it gets hard, man. There's so many. It's tied between Shawshank Redemption, if you guys know what that is, old movie. Schindler's List, or Fight Club, one of those 3. And then third is tied between Django Unchained.
I was about to say, isn't Django in there? I was literally in my head, I said
Django Unchained, because I love Quentin Tarantino. Kill Bill is also there as well. But I'll probably put that top 5. What else? Passion of the Christ is good, bro.
I haven't seen that.
Passion of the Christ is good.
I don't care
if someone's not Christian or not, but like, that's a really good movie. Yeah. Like, it's really well made.
Prince of Egypt?
Nah, not top 5, but definitely top animated for sure. Maybe Terminator. We're talking about tied with top 3, yeah. Terminator. Probably Alien 2.
You didn't like the new one?
The new Alien, Romulus. Yeah, it was pretty good. I'll put it definitely in top 3 Alien movies. But Alien 2 definitely has to be the best one. It has to be Alien 2, Alien 1, and Alien Romulus. Yeah. But I love sci-fi. I love any kind of movie. Like, you put on a good movie and, you know, you can have fun.
Interstellar's not in there?
Interstellar, I love Christopher Nolan. I'm talking about the top 5. You know, like, you gave me a really hard number to work with. Like, Christopher Nolan has to be in like a top 5, but to squeeze him in, if I were to talk about best Christopher Nolan movies, we're talking about The Dark Knight, we're talking about Interstellar, and then maybe Flip. What's another one? It's either tied between. You reckon Oppenheimer's there? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen Oppenheimer.
Yeah. You didn't feel it.
I think it was good, but
it was long though. It was long, but I definitely put Dark Knight there for sure. Dark Knight's perfection, man. Dark Knight, Interstellar.
What's that other one with the spinning thing?
That is.
What's it called? Yeah.
Inception.
Yeah. I don't think it's up there.
Inception. I think it's a bit overrated, but I used to put it like really up there. But after watching it again, I think for a guy to, and then there's also Tenet as well. Because I didn't understand Tenet at first, but I have to like rewatch it. Oh, this makes sense. Oh, you know when you watch a movie like that. Yeah. So Tenet is definitely that. But those are just he's made so many movies, guys. He's a great director. I also love listening to actor interviews as well.
Okay.
And getting into the mind as well. Like every now and then, like people like Michael Fassbender, all these kind of, just very intelligent people. You can learn a lot, from that industry and just learn a lot about that mindset. So I do love movies. Yeah.
A lot of people keep passing now.
I
said a lot of people keep passing.
Yeah, we're in my com. Yeah. So different people always gonna be passing by, but
my one is all my days. One I can't number them, What was it? Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna number them, but it's top three. Wasn't it? Tron Legacy. Cold film. Tron Legacy. Cold.
There's gonna be a new
new one.
movie.
I don't think they'll do it
Kevin
justice.
Flynn.
I don't think they'll do it justice.
You know, bro, I love Tron. Great movie. But definitely, it's definitely up the soundtrack. It's just a shame because the new movie, Tron Ares, right?
Yeah.
Daft Punk aren't going to be in there because they separated. So what really made Tron Legacy a really good movie was the soundtrack.
The audio was perfect.
It was perfect, guys.
Perfect. It fit
And I love
so
that movie.
well.
I love the philosophy as well. From
Yeah.
Kevin Flynn, you know, especially that scene where it was him and Clue. I'm pretty sure it was Clue. It was him and Clue.
Yeah.
Or if not Clue, then it was what's the other guy?
Tron.
There was Tron. Yeah, him and Tron. It was him and Tron on the light bridge, and they were just talking about like perfection and it can never be achieved.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what Tron believed. He believed that he was always trying to achieve perfection. That perfection's in front of you this whole time.
Yeah.
You know, and I really loved that speech. You know,
That-
it felt so real. And you got the soundtrack and everything. You know. But yeah, it was very underrated, and unfortunately, it was kind of poorly received at that time. But you know, looking back at it now, like a lot of people are looking back at that movie. It's like, you know, it is way ahead of its time.
Way ahead of its time.
Movies like Blade Runner as well. I think you enjoy as well.
Yeah.
You've seen Blade Runner?
I've seen Blade Runner.
It's cold, bro. Especially the original one with Harrison Ford. I'm pretty sure he was in it. So,
and the other two are I'm gonna slip in an animated one. I think I like You, the Japanese one. You. Is it called You? Yeah, it's called You.
Is it like it's animated? Yeah.
Yeah, it's anime. You.
Okay.
Is it called You? The one where the meteor.
Oh, Kimi no Nawa.
Yeah.
Kimi no Nawa. Yeah, it's your name, right?
Yeah, your name.
Yeah.
Why did I say You?
Kimi no
Your
Nawa.
name.
Yeah.
And what's that other one? I don't think it's this, but I like Real Still.
Real Steel, Cole, Hugh Jackman, bro.
Hugh Jackman, yeah.
What was his name? Oh, I forgot the name of the robot, man.
Yeah, Atom,
yeah. And you got like freaking, what, Midas and all that.
Yeah,
bro. I still remember that, bro. That was cold.
It's a sixth film. Yeah. That's a solid top three.
Yeah, bro. It's just a shame because Disney had a lot of IPs, and I feel like I know because they bought out Marvel now, so they're just pushing Marvel movies. But I feel like if they go back to something that's like all the movies, bro, it can really be successful. You know what I mean? Like, so
I'm gonna check if it's recording. Still. Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah. But what do you think about like films nowadays? Because with me, I think what they've gone wrong is they keep trying. I don't know why, but they keep trying to push like a niche on films that aren't supposed to be in that niche. For instance, Marvels, they're kind of pushing like this whole Captain Marvel, this whole women power stuff. But like your audience is men,
yeah,
so it's not really going to work.
I feel like the directors and the production team and the people who write the script writers are a bit out of touch because they don't understand. Yes, now Marvel, in terms of the audience, there has been a significant increase in the amount of women.
Yeah.
However, if you were to look at the statistics and you were to draw a diagram or a graph of some kind, you will still see that 90% of it is still going to be guys. Yeah. And for Marvel to, for like any other business, for them to not appeal to their major target audience, it's always going to be a failure. Because those are your customers at the end of the day. Yeah. Those are the people who are buying, the cinema tickets, the movie tickets, the Disney Plus subscriptions. Those are mainly going to be men. So I think Marvel deserves that kind of failure, and hopefully they work, towards returning back to that original formula. But if they keep on going, because Disney has been making major losses, guys. If you don't know, like if you follow, stocks, and if you follow, company performance, Disney's been making major losses because of some of these new Marvel movies that they're pushing out. Star Wars Acolyte as well, that failed, that flopped. Star Wars is basically gone down the drain. I'm not even a Star Wars fan as well. Yeah. But it needs to just return back to their original formula of what guys like. And
do you think
succeed.
What's most important to you actually? What's the three most things that are important to you? Actually, let me write a number. In life, in general, what's important?
God, family, and friends. I probably put. And then.
So what? Yeah. Since you said God, what religion are you, or what religion?
Well, you already know. Yeah. You already know.
For the sake of the camera.
I'm Christian, I was brought up that way. Like we literally met in church, like when we were like so young. So, It's just a great way for guidance in life. It's a great way to explore yourself, to know who you are, and just build a relationship with God. And it's a great way to just be just a good human being. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing really wrong with going into Christianity. I don't know what happened in society where it's been warped that Christianity is like somewhat evil or like demonized. Like what is so bad about loving thy neighbor or something?
I think we're in a society now where people just don't like to get offended, you know. So obviously that, if you set up boundaries, someone happens to be offended. So people think Christianity is now a thing where it's like we're better than you or something.
No, we're not. I'm not better than anyone.
That's not the case.
I'm not better than anyone. I'm literally just a human being, just like anyone else. Like I've made a lot of mistakes as well. We all have, So it's just about recognizing that and reconciliating and just being a better human being. And that's what Christianity teaches, man. Yeah. And like most religions anyway. So I mean, a society without some kind of structure, without some kind if you look anyway, like a lot of the laws that we have in place, like thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, like a lot of that, the origins are basically what create the laws that we have today in Western society. A lot of that was based off, old Judeo laws, right? And that somewhat kept society safe for generations, right? So, but I guess that's to do with that's basically what I have to say when it comes to the religion part. Yeah. But yeah.
You also said family. How important is family to you?
So with family, guys, family is your support system. You guys don't understand. I know people may have different, kinds of relationships because I have a close relationship with my family. But I know some people might have different relationships. But guys, this is your support system. You need to utilize your family's resources. You know what I mean? Like they are there to help you, right?
But do you think family is what you make it or what you're born into? Because from my opinion, I could be talking from my experience, which I am, but I'm closer with the people that I've met that I know love me and have my back than I am my family. I think family is what you make it.
Yeah, it is. What's that quote? That saying to do like blood thicker than water, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. But guys, when people say blood is thicker than water, guys, that quote may not necessarily be true because people think like, oh, connection by blood. Family members can rip you off. Like, they can ruin your life.
Yep.
So you need to have some kind of wisdom when it comes to that. You need to have some kind of discernment when it comes to that. You need to discern, who's really with you, who's supporting you, and then who's there to just take advantage of you.
We already asked this question before. The camera stops working. Instead, before I answer that question, what do you think about obstacles? Because right now, it's my dream to do this, right? This keeps turning off and on, and I'm going to have to deal with it until I get a better camera, but the quality is good on this, and, So what do you think about obstacles? Do you think, when obstacles are there, like, they're just, you just leave them until they go away, or do you overcome it? I kind of said it in
It depends then. Even if you did want to leave, leaving to come back another time is one thing, but when you're usually doing that, you need to fully analyze what that obstacle is. For instance, let's say there is a kid who wants to go to university right now. He wants to start year one, but he doesn't think he's ready for university, or he thinks it's going to be a huge trouble. I think it would be wiser for that kid to step back, analyze the obstacle first, analyze university first. Is this for me? Can I do this? Do I have the discipline to do this? Analyze the best possible scenario, worst case scenario. Then make the decision. Than him just jumping. Oh, I'm going to tackle this obstacle because that would be very unwise. So even if you did want to take a step back and analyze the situation is one thing. I don't usually believe in just running away from obstacles because obstacles, pressure,
makes diamonds.
Diamonds,
I don't know if you were going to say that.
No, it's true, and it defines who you really are. What you do in those situations can make or break you. You need to show what you're really made of, and it's a great way. It's a great build of character as well. So,
I do think there's such thing as overthinking, though, to the point where
overthinking is another separate issue, and that has to go with mental health. So overthinkers, they tend to branch too much. Like, okay, this happens, but what if this happens and this happens and this happens? And kind of like almost like a network, like a branch. Right? It just spreads and it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. But obstacles, when you analyze obstacles, completely different. You understand what I mean? Like, so, yeah. For overthinkers, they just need to practice some form of meditation. They always have to recenter.
Yeah.
Recentering is so key because that's just your mind. That's your mind literally just trying to play tricks on stuff that may not even happen or may not even exist. You'll be thinking of the wildest stuff because I think everyone has been, overthought to some extent, right? So recentering yourself is key. Okay, well that's clearly not going to happen because this is in place. Or like, but what if this is like it's some scenario that's like a 0.001% chance happening?
Yeah,
like that's never gonna completely unrealistic, So always recenter yourself.
That's why I think carefree people are there. There's a balance. There's being too carefree and being too overthinking. I think that's why when you said center yourself, it's like, look, you're never gonna have the full formula for whatever you want to do in life. You're never gonna have the full. See, you're not God. You're not
You can't
all knowing.
Omniscient.
So to some point, you are gonna have to take a risk. So it's healthy to be like, okay, I've planned it to the best of my ability. Yeah. Let's jump in it and see where we go. And it's better like.
And in worst case scenario, there's some kind of leeway or something. Yeah, for sure.
But then you just improve from that and you can carry on.
For sure.
You're Nigerian. Obviously, I'm Nigerian. Yeah. Do you think Nigerian culture is toxic?
So it depends. I think Nigerian culture, West African culture. I think I'll put it as a great build of character.
Yes.
Because I think there's certain moments where you do need some form of discipline, or you do need some form of like correction, or and I just see that as another way of recentering yourself as a kid. Because in Western society, it's looked down on, like, oh, why did you shout at your kid, or why did you do this at your kid? There needs to be some, they're not doing that. Some people may do it out of anger, which is wrong, but if you do it correctly, it's a way of enforcing consequences, right? Like Nigerian culture can be toxic, like any other culture. It doesn't matter, even if it's Western. Like any other culture, you have the potential to be toxic. But I would say Nigerian culture is more, West African culture is more strict when it comes to upbringing. Yeah. So you need to.
Than Chinese, man?
I don't know because I'm not Chinese. But it just depends on what kind of society it is. Because I'm not too. I don't study sociology, so this is not my my field of expertise. Yeah. However, it will depend on like the culture. It will depend on like communism, capitalism, all of that. Like Nigerians we love money. That's also a thing. Why do you think so many families in Nigeria have all these like money issues and they're ringing all their relatives, and we just talk about family, let me get this, let me get that. Whereas in some cultures that may not be the case, they may be toxic in different ways. So it really does depend on certain factors that build it up into that country's history.
Yeah.
So I would say it can be toxic, but at the end of the day, it is changing.
It is changing.
Like a lot of parents now are just like realizing, oh, this is how it's brought up. So this is why I'm bringing this child up this way. But it is changing, and it's our job as well. It's our responsibility to recognize some of these things. And like Bruce Lee said, like be like water. Always pick out the good, and separate the bad. Pick out what's best. Always adapt. Yeah. Like maybe this kid is acting this way, then adapt to how that kid or that child, given that support that he needs, whilst taking from different cultures and philosophies. And
eat the meat, spit out the bones, basically.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So, Dan, what was the question I told you before the camera shot?
I can't. Are you a nerd?
Was it? Yeah. Oh yeah, are you a nerd then?
Yeah. But I wouldn't necessarily. I don't really focus that much now on pop culture that I used to, because I'm just busier. But I do like anime. I do like games. The gaming industry. I do like movies.
I like the woman. I love.
Yeah, but
I'm
more nerdy now about money and different things.
I can tell, man.
And business. And also I've been studying. I've been studying pharmacology as well.
What's that?
So basically, you're looking at the use of pharmaceuticals to help optimize the human bodily functions, to help increase health benefits.
Makes sense.
Because it's kind of related back to sports as well. So I'm always watching people like Andrew Huberman, people like Joe Rogan, and it's just interesting when they bring up certain guests to talk about Derek Moore plays more dates. He's literally a pharmacologist, like he talks about testosterone optimization, food diet optimization. It's very interesting. So I think that's also something people should look into. But yeah, I'm a nerd about different kinds of things.
Yeah. Do you think? Because my thing is like, okay, to me it sounds like you're very focused on and determined on the future of your life, which is healthy. But I think if 10 is bad, a bad way of thinking it, where it's eating up your life, and 0 is good, it's too much where you're not thinking about it at all, I think you're like 6.5 right now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
My 10 is eating up too much of my life.
Yeah. I think you're at 6.5.
Really?
Don't you feel like sometimes it's like, okay, I know where I'm going, I'm heading in a direction, but let me just enjoy life.
It depends on, like, I do enjoy life in different ways. But I guess it all depends on people's ability. People are like cups of water. The different sizes of cups that people like. So it all depends on your threshold. And if you feel like your threshold is too much, then definitely stop. Take breaks. I do take breaks. But when I'm not focusing on business or making money, I do have stuff that I do to wind down and relax. But guys, it's better to be focused than not to be focused at all. At the end of the day,
I agree.
So you do need to be focused on something, anything, any kind of passion or something, Because without a passion, what are we as human beings? We're just docile creatures. So I do have ways to wind down, but at the end of the day, I am very determined. I am very focused. I just want to succeed. I mean, I'm already successful.
You are.
Right?
You are.
That's the way you need to think as well. People always think like, oh, I'm not successful now. I will be. But guys, you don't understand, like, you already are successful. Right? Always have that, mindset now.
Yeah.
I don't envision myself now as, something, but you need to envision yourself now as successful, guys. This is how it is. Like, a lot of women now call that, not just women, but guys, they call it, what do they call it again? Manifesting or whatever. Guys, it all has different kinds of names. But, it all has different kinds of names, but guys, like, manifestation is one thing, but you need to put in the work. You can't just be like, the universe doesn't work like that, where you just sit down and be like, oh, okay, I'll manifest till something. You can be manifesting from now till the next 20, 30 years. Like, nothing's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, I wish it happened, because there's been point in times where you want to manifest something. Oh, come on, man, just please. It doesn't happen. You need to put in the work. You need to put in some serious work.
A lot of people just sit and just wait until it falls in their lap and comes in.
You're just setting yourself up for failure. Like a really bad failure. So, you need to go after something. They say that a journey for 1,000 miles starts with one step.
It does.
So you do need to make that first step. Showing up is 80%. You've shown up, right? 20% is just okay. Let's get this done. So just have that courage to show up again, and you'll be surprised where you go.
I mean, when it comes to when it comes to speaking things into, actually no, forget that. Your girl comes to you. I don't know why it just came in my head. I'm a random person when I interview people. And your girl comes to you, Daniel, you work too hard. Stop caring too much about money. What are you saying back?
Well, I'm at that stage in my life now where it's okay. I appreciate your concern. And it's also good to, as well, even if you don't agree, like, it's also just having in mind, like, okay, maybe I am. Always take in, there could be some element of truth. But at the same time, the only person that knows you the best is you. So you need to know your own limits as well. So when I hear that, and if my girl is saying that, I say I appreciate that, but this is what I need to focus on. I've got a schedule. I've got a timetable. Right? If I want to go a bit earlier, it's cool. But we'll find some other way to like allocate time so we can, relax or have fun or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, that's just my philosophy. I'll just continue with whatever I'm doing. But I'll try and make sure that I don't take it too far. But like I'm just generally a very ambitious person. So it's either that she's with the program or she's not. Or she just leaves, and that's okay. You just gotta accept that. There's a point in my life where I was like, she's leaving and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like that's what makes you, man. Like whatever's happening, whatever she's doing, I wish her all the best, but I just don't need that in my life. I've got other things to work on, and it'd be cool, if we were to talk, but that's it. Like we're just cool. Like I don't need that in my life anymore. So I've moved on, and I'm focusing on other things. And I think every guy should really have that, mentality, that philosophy. Make sure that with your program first. Because you don't want it to be like where you're halfway through or you're at a certain significant milestone, and then this kind of stuff it gets brought up like that as well, but you know what I mean, like
hey big
that or something, and then something like that. Like I just don't do that anymore, you know what I mean? Like I just don't need that in my life anymore. So I'm surrounded by great people like him, like David. I've known him for years.
Likewise.
I'm surrounded by great family, and
How long are we in? Okay, we're decent for time, but then we're kind of like everyone takes about an hour, 20 minutes. Right, nowadays.
All right.
I have this question, and I think the last few, unless something comes into mind. What do you think about Diddy and all this whole situation?
Oh God, I don't want to get too into it. So you have to understand, because my uncle's a lawyer. Yeah. So he does, give me. He's not actually working on this case. He's in the US. He lives in Texas.
Right.
So
what has he like told you?
No, but we have discussed it on the call before. So you have to understand that Diddy now is in federal court.
Okay.
So the likelihood of him going scot-free is like, once you end up in federal court, it's pretty much game over. Like as much as he is. Like
really?
There's like a 95% like incarceration rate. Like it's pretty much.
I'll just give up then.
Like it's so bad to the point where he's on suicide watch now, because they were thinking like he's gonna pull a Jeffrey Epstein where he kills himself.
Right.
But I hope he gets, because this guy's literally the devil, bro. Like this guy's done
really?
So like I get all the jokes with the the 1,000 baby, the baby oil and all that. But this guy's he's done some mad sex trafficking stuff, not just with women, but with guys as well. Like he is sick.
Where do you think it went wrong though? Do you think it's too much money and power? That's what I think. I think it gets to the point.
It's degeneracy, and that usually does come, with too much money and power. And you have to understand that these people, you see, birds of a feather flock together. So you have to understand that, with that kind of wealth, and not every billionaire, because Diddy is a billionaire. The amount of record label he owns, isn't it not like the Dead Something Records or something like that? Like he owns, like he's managed like a lot of rich people, right? So with that amount of wealth, it comes boredom. And boredom, like you can do some crazy stuff with wealth, right? All those like free costs. So I won't go into detail, but they're doing some nasty stuff, right? So, all the billionaires and millionaires come together. Like, why do you think so many billionaires now are resigning? CEO of Nike resigned, recently. Did you not know that? CEO of Nike resigned. Wow. As soon as Diddy just got incarcerated. What do you think?
Come on now.
Why do you think so many of the famous CEOs? I saw some Japanese CEOs. No. Even my Nihonjin guys are doing this, bro. Even my Japanese people are doing this, like for real, like, so this is crazy. But I hope he does get what's coming, and I hope he does leak, or at least even if he doesn't leak, like in a foreign investigation is done where we do see the names of these kinds of people that, people like Harvey Weinstein, you remember him? He was basically a director. And guys, listen, I'm also going to say this, a lot of your famous artists, right, like musicians, I'm not talking about like the lower end, I'm talking about like the best of the best. They're doing some sick stuff behind closed doors, that stuff that you wouldn't even be able to know about, like, especially people who just come out of nowhere, that just blow up into the industry. Like, how do you think that just happens? You think that just happens because of like talent? It happens because of connections, but also because of other, depraved, sick stuff that happens.
Do you think it's a lack of struggle? Because that's what I think. I think it's a lack of struggle, because they're all they don't have that hunger anymore, and they've got to a point where it's like, oh, I can get anything, I can do anything.
Yeah, it's that, but as well as they do other endeavors as well. I won't get too into it, but like he knows, like I won't get too into it. But yeah, they do. It's not really lack of struggle because they'll be hungry just for different things.
I think it's like a discipline.
Because what it's not even discipline. These people are disciplined. They know how to make money. They know how to, but it's not discipline. It's not discipline. What it is when you're bored, right? When you've achieved what you want to achieve, you're gonna look to influence people, right, through certain ways. Like for instance, when you're a company, look at BlackRock, for instance, and those who know, BlackRock owns a large majority of stock on the major companies in the world, right? They have a lot of control over a lot of these companies, right? So when they've already made it, because BlackRock have already in this investment group, they've already made their money, right? So what's the next best thing? Okay, not that we can't make money, but what can we do? We can start to influence people. We can start to change psychology of people, right? That's the next best asset that they can start to invest in, right? Changing people's minds through certain mediums like music, movies, right? Like that's why I don't really try and listen to like mainstream music anymore, because I'm done with that. That stuff it's gonna harm your brain.
It is.
Like it's degenerate. Like if you listen to a lot of the lyrics, it's degenerate. And the thing is, you may just be doing work, but like subconsciously, you're listening to that.
Yeah, words are powerful, man. That's why all these they speak all these.
You understand? Like you look back, like for years and years. Why do people, they say, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Like why do you think that stuff exists? This stuff is real, man. So be careful what you listen to. Be careful the mediums that you listen to and watch, because that will affect you. You might not think it won't. It will affect you.
Because if you're listening to aggressive music all the time, like you obviously, because it comes with a vibe, it's kind of like easing into your ears. Yeah. But really, like if you read the lyrics, I will kill my man, I'll murder him, I'll throw him.
Yeah. And it's not like we're saying that you're gonna kill someone, right? But what we're saying is that because that's now programmed into your subconscious, you may be looking at people differently. Yeah. Right. You won't even look at them as like human beings. Like and even for the female artists as well. Like it's surprising that a lot of females talk about this is objectifying us, but they listen to a lot of music They listen to a lot of music from certain artists that do that, if not worse. Female artists that do that, if not worse.
That links into my next question, because I was thinking about what do you think about the black community and our role models? Because I think for men and women,
I think the black community is.
We're popping balloons, bruv, and
it's a huge issue. And again, it just goes back to the lack of father figures in the black community. You look at the divorce rate in the black community. You look at the amount of single mothers in the black community, not just here, but in the US as well. US is a great place to analyze, just a great, to analyze the population, to do like some research.
I think it's a 70% single mother.
Yeah, it's 70%. It's terrible. It's terrible. Can you imagine that? That means that out of maybe 10 black women that you see, 7 of them are single mothers. Isn't that
only 3 of them?
That's literally crazy. And if you've been to the US, like you're gonna see black single mothers everywhere, right? So they come collect together and they live in poor neighborhoods, like like some like O Block and like O Block, Chicago. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's where they'll live there. I've seen some places in Texas as well, like really struggling neighborhoods. But at the same time, I think it's low-key kind of like a psyop as well from the government, from the US government.
I agree.
Because you have to understand that this is literally real, that the CIA, there was a point in time that the CIA did give out drugs to black communities, that they poison like their water supply and stuff like this. This is literally real.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so it's kind of like programming from there as well. Plus a lot of the artists and rappers that are being paid to promote this degenerate music are like really rich white guys who usually work with government. So I'm not trying to go into like the whole conspiracy route, but this stuff is real. There is programming, so they want to make sure that black community are stuck there. And I think there was a research paper, and I think like they worked with AI to predict that black people or the black community will rise up, and be level somewhat level with the white community. I think like 200 to 300 years from now, for them to like rise up. That's pretty bad, guys. But it's just to put stuff into perspective, right? So
because I do think like I agree. I do think there isn't a there's only so much you can say on YouTube, but I do think there's an agenda on black people. I do think because it's a thing where it's like, look at the music that's being promoted, look at the role models. You know what? You know with D. Dennis, right?
Yeah.
He tried to go back to his hood and improve his hood. He got denied. Polo G, another artist. Of course, he's pushing degeneracy, but he tried to buy his hood. Do you know how good that would be for his hood? You can buy his hood, you can lower down rent prices or whatever, mortgage prices. But he got denied as well. Why is it every time a black person tries to go back and help their community, all of a sudden they can't do it?
There's so many. I know, but I this stuff. They try and do that. I know about Tank the boxer. Tank. Yeah, you don't know. Basically,
Javonte Davis.
Yeah, Javonte Davis, man. He went back and I'm pretty sure he tried to like build like housing. In his neighborhood. Have you heard of the story? Like, he tried to do that. I don't know too much, but it is not uncommon for successful people to go back to their place of origin or their neighborhoods to try and improve on it. But the issue of black people is that, in the black community, is that we're not really that good at seeing opportunities. Do you understand me? Like, opportunity can be staring at you in the face, like business. That's the thing about like the white community and like the East Asian community. Like they're taught, like especially for East Asians, they're taught like when they come into a country, they're taught to assimilate. Keep your head down, study, work hard, and maybe you'll be able to but they'll always be classed as like second-class citizens by the system, and which it appeals more to European Eurocentric philosophies, right? But for black people, like we don't know how to once we work hard in this, we can invest in this, or we can build a school here or like a bank here. And we don't think like that. We don't think about marketing, bro. So if you look at, there was a documentary in like the 1950s. Did you see that one? I was talking about like the white people, and they were talking about how to sell products to like black people, like the Negroes, right? How to sell products. They said like
wasn't it in black and white?
It was in black and white.
I saw it.
About how like they were basically like the best like customers. Why? Because they buy the most useless stuff, right? Because how to advertise to them, right? Why do you think like they have this like black people like statistically they'll rather spend more money on Jordans than a college degree? Is that not crazy? Like, bro, if that doesn't sound crazy, I don't know what is. That is a huge issue. Like black people, we love consumerism, right? Too much. But I think it's in our culture. To be like for self, like I've made it. It's only me and my guys that make it. I don't really think we're like Mexicans. If one Mexican makes it, the whole flipping que pasa, they're making it. Asians, don't even get me started. Asians are probably the most tight community. They will have to win together. It's only black people that do this. Although I do agree, we are the most targeted and we do have an agenda on us. You do need.
We can't point the finger. Like, I don't think we can't point the finger.
There needs to be a certain level of accountability. As well,
because why are we popping balloons? Black people are the only people who do this. Why are we popping balloons? Why are we spinning around saying we're gonna have sex with someone? Why are we doing all this stuff? Like
it's lack of education and it's degeneracy. That's what it is. But it's left to us, like Confucius said, society. It changes with you. It starts with you. How can you, as a black individual, make that change? How can you educate your brothers and sisters? How can you educate them? So it's very important that we make that change now and quick. So and you need to learn how to call out bad behaviors. I don't care. Like if your friends are doing something that is clearly detrimental or could put you in harm or put you in trouble, you need to call it out, like for real. So it's just left to maturing and all that. I was just going to say, because I don't like how I can think, name me one white person, I think of Jeff Bezos, Asian, Robert Kiyosaki, and I go to black, Kanye West. It's like, bro, why is it Kanye West is very intelligent, man. Like people, I know the media is trying to paint him as crazy. He is like he has like the real.
Like, what is that?
Me personally, I think that's just marketing. I think it's just a gimmick. But at the same time, he is very, very intelligent. He knows how to do business.
Because he knows how to do. You can't be a billionaire and stupid.
Like he's literally.
But I'm saying he's not. outside of the money, I
Oh,
think
outside of the money,
you have to be a good role model.
yeah, he's good at this, but this is also the thing because I don't think he went to college. He didn't go to uni.
No, he didn't.
So that's also like you can see someone like Kanye West, like even though they may have amount of money, like they're not really like well learned, right? So they don't really know how to like talk about anything other than like music or like business. So they'll just be when it comes to stuff like talking about politics or like issues within the community, like they can't really talk in a way that's coherent, or speak with facts or statistics or anything that can help back up their argument. So if you look at someone like Shaquille O'Neal, another billionaire, right? What did he do when he finished in the NBA, or what did he do when he was still in the NBA, when he was earning his money? He went back to university, right? He went back to university and he paid for his friends to go to university with him. Now, if that's not that like this is what I'm talking about. That black billionaires and black millionaires need to look at. And once the society changes with you, once you make that first step, right, you'll begin to see a change in your community. It may be small, it may be gradual, but it will change. Because I'm sick and tired of why don't the white people embarrass us and fund us and do all of this, and like look now, like we're doing I forgot what it was called, where it's like I don't know if it's called like reverse discrimination or whatever, I forgot. Basically what they're gonna do is that they're gonna make it easier for black people or like disabled people or whatever to like enter universities or get certain jobs or something like that.
Oh, affirmative action.
Affirmative action, sorry. I don't know why I said reverse discrimination, but yeah, affirmative action. Yeah. There's opportunities like that. Society is more, we're a very liberal society now, right? But yeah, man, them still want to, be in a trap and start trapping and doing all this stupid stuff.
It's the culture of black.
It's the culture, man. It's terrible. Like, why do you want to trap, man?
Yeah.
You trap and then you're behind bars for like 30 years. Like I get it. Like I can't say like what your situation is, yeah. But like it's not worth it, bro. Just go work in Tesco's. You know what I mean? Like just go do something.
It goes back to social media, and because social media is like you can't. It kind of shuts down the grind. It kind of makes the grind look like you're broke or poor. Like if a man is starting off at Mackey's to invest in his business, he's a bum, he's a lame, but you should be up here. And when black boys look at other black boys with chains, with this, all of this,
guys, do you know a lot of that stuff that they're wearing? Like you have to understand that a lot of for rappers, like that 99% of rappers that you're literally listening to are broke. They're all broke. I'm not like you see in a music video, a lot of that stuff is just rented, or they haven't even bought it yet. They're just paying it off, right? They're liabilities. They're not assets, man. They don't add to your life. It's not like they're buying it to sell it on later on, right? So like, don't try and compare yourself. Like, listen, there's nothing to be ashamed of if you're starting in a small job, right, or retail job, and then you're working towards something, right? If anyone tells you otherwise, don't listen to them, right? And it's for real. Like, you don't know what that person, like people who work in retail or working, in a customer service based job, right? Like, don't try and make fun of those people. Like, you don't know what they're going through or what, who they're trying to provide for. You don't know about their costs, right? You don't know about their liabilities. You don't know about their cash outflow, right? So you have to respect those kinds of people. You have to respect them like anyone else, right? Go work that McDonald's job, right? Go work overtime. I don't care. Get that money up. Save that money. Right? Gain interest in that. Learn about investing. Learn about, dividing your money. Okay, this is how I can partition my money. I've got 30% here, 30% I can spend. Right? Be frugal. Right? Then when the time comes, then you can start thinking, okay, I've got assets over here that are generating me some kind of, revenue or some kind of, cash flow or rate of return. Right? Then I can start thinking about improving, okay, maybe I'll buy, some Moncler jacket. Like I'm seeing like 20-year-olds buying Monclers, bro. It's not that I can't buy one, yeah. Do you understand? It's not that we can't buy one, but we understand like that. It's first of all, it depreciates fast. Do you understand? So even if you were to sell it later on, it's used, and you don't know what's gonna happen. It's gonna rip like that. It's not like you're buying another. Even if you were buying a car, like you know what I mean. Like at least you can use that to like travel from back and forth. Like, what do I need with a jacket, like a normal jacket? I don't need that. Like I'd rather put my money in, like a FTSE 500 company where I can gain, some form of like return, right?
But again, the black culture.
It's the culture, man. Yeah, they don't think like that. They don't think like that.
All of this stuff is seen as bad. Seen as
wet,
seen as gay.
That's why like I'm so grateful for my parents. That's what I mean. Like I come from a very business oriented family. Like my parents are very well learners. Like, they're very intelligent. So, you know, I grew up with a lot of this knowledge growing up. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, it's a blessing.
Yeah, so you need to think outside the box, man. You just like stop looking at things that won't add to your life, man. You might think, like, even if at the end of the day, they're just doing it for girls. At the end of the day, if you think about it, for validation.
That's some of the root. That probably is the root.
It probably is.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, you can be showing off to other men, but at the end of the day, like, you're doing it for female validation. So it shows that you're basically trying to provide the perception that you are of higher value when you're really not. You know, because if you ask you, okay, pull out a 5K emergency, something happened to your sister. You know, 5K, pull out 5K from your account right now. It's an emergency. Something happened to your sister or your mom. They won't be able to do that. Is that not a shame? Because if that's not crazy, okay, she needs an emergency surgery, or she needs 5K to pay off this certain thing. She needs that 5K by tonight or by tomorrow morning. Would you be able to do it? Because I can. Right? A lot of people can't. Right? So, you know, there needs to be a huge, and this is the failure of schools as well. There needs to be some kind of education towards this. Secondary school, there needs to be some kind of build up towards this. So, you know,
cool. I got two ending questions and one last question.
Oh yeah, sure.
We're a bit ahead of time, so try and answer it
as quickly as possible. Yeah, sure.
Do you think the government care about us?
No, they don't. You have to understand that. The government is just an organization, right? You can talk about paternal, kind of like paternal responsibility. To an extent, it's there, but guys, the government. Why do you think that politicians, when they enter, they come out millionaires? Yeah. When they enter office, they'll come out, and they come out with like 10 million. Like, oh, okay, how did you make 30 million in the span of like two years? You know, and it's obviously, insider trading. They'll be able to know trends and economic trends and policies. Like, that's what you guys don't understand. Like, you guys think your vote does something. It doesn't do anything.
I was laughing when Rishi Sunak was acting like he was like a working class citizen, and he's like, oh yeah, me and my wife we cook.
Like, you guys don't understand. Like, a lot of these decisions are literally predetermined. Like, a lot of these guys are, you don't understand. These guys are so buddy, man. A lot of these guys went to the same universities, man. Like, you guys are, you're saying, well, Labour, Conservative, let's vote this. That's just a way of conquering and dividing, divide and conquer. So you guys are laughing now. But then, when the camera shut off, Prime Minister's questions, they're just going back on, getting scotch, they're just laughing at you, man. You guys are like peons, like you guys are peasants, man. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, that's another level of wealth. The government don't care. It doesn't care. You need to watch out for yourself. That's why people who rely so much on government, like, okay, give me this benefit here, or give me this thing. Like, government don't care. There is like support systems are on a lifeline. Right? They're on a lifeline. So, you need to watch out, look out for yourself, look after your finances, educate yourself, please. I'm tired of hearing that. Oh, the government did this, like,
Rishi,
they're gonna do that anyway. Like, people are gonna complain. Like, the thing is, if we put people in that position, I guarantee you they'll do the exact same thing.
These people
they'll do the exact same thing. Government has not changed since it was formed, since ancient Greece. It's always been corruption. Nothing's going to change. It's about how you adapt or die, right? You either adapt to that change. Okay, we know government's corrupt. Okay, we can't rely on this. Okay, maybe there's this policy here. Your vote doesn't do anything. Maybe on the small scale, sure. But when we're talking about big government decisions, it's been made months ago by the business execs, right? By the CEOs, investment bankers. Like this, you guys are just peons, right? So I just laugh at anyone say, oh yeah, but if we vote for like Keir Starmer, like we're gonna see the shit. Keir Starmer don't. They just appeal to you, right? Like it's like I thought there was this quote. It's like democracy. Something about democracy. Like
I know.
People people want democracy, but those people are idiots. Yeah. Like what I mean. Like they don't understand nothing, right? They just want to be ruled. They just want someone in power. Okay, you just do it for me. Right? And then we just sit back and we start complaining. Right? Don't be a complainer, man. Like, you just have to understand, well, they're going to be corrupt anyway, so there's nothing you can do. Every single person in power is going to have some level of corruption, whether you like it or not.
It's how it operates.
It's just how it operates. Because low-key, though, like, when you enter that, like, there's no way that you're not going to be corrupt anyway. Right? No matter how good-spirited your human nature is, like, there will be some level of corruption. There will be some things that you have to do that you will not like. Right? So stop like over analyzing. That's why like when people like over analyze government and talk so much about like politics, it's like do you not have like anything better to do with your life? Like no, seriously, like they just but Joe Biden and like Rishi Sunak and like they don't know you. They're making millions. Like whilst you're still with your brokey job. Right, get your money up, not your funny up. You know what I mean? Like literally. But unless you're working in politics, like who cares? Like you want to tune in, watch some BBC News, sure. But I don't even watch legacy media that much anymore now. So like a lot of that stuff is government controlled anyway. So yeah, you want to watch your news, sure. But I don't really care what's going on in politics, right? It's just the way whatever happens, man. It's just the way governments are going to be since the dawn of time. Look at any single government, right? Ancient China. Mao Zedong. Look at the Qing dynasty. Look at ancient Greece, the fall of Rome. It's all falling due to corruption, right? So, that's just the way it is.
Your son is gay. What would you do?
That's crazy. That came out of nowhere. My son is gay. What would I do? Well, I mean, I always go back to that thing. You can only control the controllable, right?
Which is true.
I can't force my son to be like, oh no, you have to be straight, you have to be straight. Like me personally, because of like the way we were brought up, like, and because of like religion, like it is a sin. Like, you can't do that.
All right.
You get me? So like, I will stand on business, like, for real. But at the end of the day, that's them, innit? Like I can't do much. What else do you want me to do as a father? Like I can only guide them into the right path.
You'll still love your son.
I still love him.
Yeah, a lot of guys would disown them.
I can't just like the thing is like
it's your blood, man.
It's your blood. You understand? Because disowning can actually make it worse.
Yeah, it will make it worse.
Because now they can, because they have no like guidance, right? Now they can just go onto a path where they can just do anything.
Yeah.
Right. They've got no support system. Right. So like there needs to be some kind of. I may not agree with what you're doing, but there needs to be that still like I do love you kind of thing. There needs to be that kind of fatherly love. Like low key, like I might feel a bit indifferent towards my son, but at the end of the day, like I will be there for him, and I think that's what matters. Like so that's my opinion when it comes to that. But yeah.
Are you happy in life?
Yes, I think you do need to be happy in life, no matter what position you are. Like, life's not going to be easy, and people who think that life is easy, you're just an idiot. Like, life is not.
No matter how rich or poor.
No matter how poor, you need to be content. You need to be okay. This is the decision. You have to have this mentality, like I am happy. Now, as miserable as it is, as miserable, like guys, I know, like as miserable as it is, like, you need to be like, okay, I am happy, and I have this mentality that it will get better. Right?
Because it will.
Because it will.
Life is full of
it will. It's just ups and downs. It's just waves.
Just gotta appreciate it for what it is.
Because you're looking at it now, but if you draw like a line graph and you look at it and you draw, an average for the curves. Yeah. Right. You're gonna see that it's just going straight up. Yeah. So you have to just appreciate where you are and be ready for the future. It's gonna get better. So
that was the best answer to that question I've had so far. Okay. What was the last question? Where do you want to be in 5 years?
Rich, hopefully.
Amen.
Self-employed, really. That's the main thing. Self-employed, free. I want to travel. I want to go to different countries. Best case scenario, I want to just learn about different cultures as well, man. I want to learn about different cultures related to fighting, but just generally, try new foods, meet new people. But that's what I see. And honestly, if I do acquire that wealth, the first thing I'm doing is I'm paying off my parents' mortgage, like for sure. Like when you acquire wealth, guys, when you acquire some form of money, don't just think about yourself. You need to think about other people as well. There's this Nigerian culture, like when you get your first paycheck, your parents will look at it. Have you ever had that? You know what I mean? Have you ever heard of that? Yeah, they'll look at it. No, and if people are like, oh, why are you looking at my paycheck? Like, they may take out of it. Usually they don't, but they're just doing that as a test. You know what I mean? But usually you do need to give back to the people who did raise you. You know what I mean? Like, or you need to give back to that support system. So, I will pay off my parents' mortgage. I'll try and pay off my sister's university tuition. Right. As long as I don't have any, I would have cleared my debt hopefully by then. Right. And once that's done, Yeah, I've just been living life, enjoying life. You probably see me in some beach somewhere.
You don't want to be in because of the UFC or training?
No. So basically, see, that's the thing with such a versatile business world now. You should be able to work from home, or depends on the country of origin, operations zone of origin. So if I'm working with an organization, it doesn't just have to be the UFC, but if I'm working with an organization that handles stuff in Australia or in like Malaysia or Singapore, that's where ONE FC. If you guys have heard of it, that's like Southeast Asian mixed martial arts. If I'm working in there, I may be able to like live there for a while. If it's UFC, then I'll definitely have some more leeway because the UFC operates in so many different countries now.
And if you're making money online and stuff,
and if I'm making money online, that's if I'm career focused, man. This isn't even talking about the stuff I'm doing on the side. Like if I, once I become fully, because right now, I'm even earning income. But once I become like fully financially free, right? I don't have to. I can travel. I can do what I want.
Bro, if you move over to like in Vietnam or Indonesia or one of them countries, bro, you don't even have to.
Yeah, because purchasing power parity is an economic concept where you basically be able to purchase more for the money you have, because of currency exchange. But you should be able to go to those countries, or even just go back to Nigeria, bro. You know what I mean? Like even in Nigeria, even the issues it's facing, it is possible to live a secure life.
In Nigeria?
Yeah, Banana Island, yeah.
Yeah,
you can't live there. Like, it's your choice. It's your choice.
Not Lagos.
Maybe no, maybe not Lagos. You know what I mean? But even still, though, like, you know what I mean? Like, it is good to go where you're appreciated, not where you're tolerated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's good to travel out to different countries like that. But always go back to especially if you're ethnic, like try and go back to your country of origin and check out and see if you can actually live there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's my.
I want to see if it's still recording.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's still recording. All right.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say?
Nah. I think I've said everything I wanted to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Like, guys, once you're watching this video, subscribe to him.
I appreciate
seriously, let's see his growth. Forget about me. I'm just his friend. But yeah, focus on him, man. Subscribe to him. Shout out this video.
Yeah.
Promote him. He's a great content creator. I've heard his ideas. He's going to go places. So yeah, keep an eye on him.
Yes,
check out his socials as well.
Yes, sir.
But yeah,
thanks for saying that, because I'm gonna have to put it now.
Yeah, you'll probably plug in my socials.
Yeah, of course.
Plug in my Insta or something like that. But yeah,
sure, I need to
always.
do that.
Yeah, just shoot me a question or something like that. Or if we know each other, we can just talk about this video. How did I even come to doing this?
Yeah.
But that's just that's everything I have to say. Enjoy the video.
Yeah. And to end it, you're a very technical person. You're very structured and stuff like that.
I try to be.
Yeah. Would you say you like that about yourself, or do you say?
I do make mistakes, but I think the best thing to do is having a strategy is better than not having one. So yeah, like I do like that kind of like, okay, if this goes wrong, then I can fall back on this. That's support, that's security.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't have security, so yeah.
You're always looking for a way
out.
Yeah. Okay, nice. That's Daniel. Hey, Tony. Good interview, fam. I really like that.
It was cold. Nice. Yeah, see you guys later, man.
That was good.